It's going, what the fuck? What's going on? Why isn't it playing? What's happening? All right, let me go a little wider. We'll zoom in when we need to. Oh, that is wide. Okay, as wide as we get. No, we'll do about a half hour on this, so or whatever it takes. If the crowd is into it, then we'll do that, and we'll go from there. So I always love the first couple minutes of the show because it's like, did I do it right? Did I
waiting
hit the
for
right
everybody
buttons?
to come in?
Is the right button on? You know, and Fernando's always over here like logging in and stuff, and I'm not even subscribed to our channel, so I have no idea. Oh yeah, they're there. Hey guys, what's going on, everyone? And then it does that. Boom.
Oh, everybody's there now, huh?
Hey everyone. Today I'm going to be playing the role of Fernando, and playing the role of me is going to be Jeff Smith from Amp Global. And those of you that don't know what Amp Global is, Amp Global, for one, is going to be the sponsor of our trip to Knowledge Fest Dallas. That's right. Next week we start the Lollapalooza of Knowledge Fest. That's right. We're going to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I know I told you I was going to give you the show times today. I'm going to wait till Monday when Fernando gets back because I didn't want to do it without him. And then, of course, we're going to be live Friday. What's up?
Still want a CD.
Oh, so I told, dude, you gotta remember.
Coming.
So we do an Instagram show.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 minutes 5 stars. So when we did that today, I said, guess who? You know, I let them guess who it was, and they guessed. They guessed right. And I said, and make sure you give them crap about the CD. And I said it the other way because it's Instagram, and I think I cussed a couple times on Instagram. Anyways, so Amp Global, for those of you who don't know, also make Phoenix Gold. That's their baby. And as we've been doing Saturday DSP testing, and I kept saying I'm going to have Jeff Smith in to help us with the Phoenix Gold software and walk through it. Fernando took the day off to drive someone to the airport in Orlando. You ever done that?
I've driven home from Orlando a few times, but never driven someone there to drop them off. No.
Yeah, it's weird, but
that's a far drive.
Yeah,
round trip.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, that's what I'm not looking forward to Knowledge Fest next year. So I'm like, I like getting to the airport and sleeping on the way home.
Yeah.
And I was telling Sue last night, I was like, dude, Orlando's gonna be rough, man, because you know I got to stay awake for that hour and 45 minutes. Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
What's up, Andrew?
So
glad you enjoyed the training.
5-star bikini car wash. Oh, there we go. No. Remember, I got a 19-year-old daughter. That really doesn't say positive things for girls. And you have a daughter, too.
Right.
So no, we're dads. We're dads of daughters. There'll be no bikini car washes. You understand? Anyway, so what we got here is the Phoenix Gold DSP8.8. It is 8 channels in.
8 channels in high level. 6 channels in low level RCA.
Okay.
It can also be
give me 1 second, keep talking.
2-channel auxiliary input. It can also be 3.5 audio in through an additional harness, or it can be Wi-Fi input as well. It has a dash mount DRC that actually comes in the kit itself. It has the ability for volume and preset control. And it also has the Wi-Fi receiver actually built into the actual DRC itself as well. Everything comes in the box, so unlike some of the other DSPs out there on the market, everything is included without the need of adding any other accessories to the box at all.
Yeah. Could you come out and tune my amp real quick?
Is that what he said?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was nice. Like, hey, okay, no. So the DRC comes in the box.
So the DRC and everything you need comes in the box, where typically you have to add accessories on to some of the other guys out there. That was one of the things I wanted, was for everything to come in the box.
Now let's talk about the DRC for a minute, only because we know that a lot of people have a hard time with the DRC. And
correct.
It is unique.
Right. A lot of guys look at the DRC and they go, dude, that's ugly as crap.
I didn't say that.
And it's huge compared to some of the other DRCs out there, right?
Yes.
So one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't realize is that when you actually look at the DRC, it's 2 devices. It's twice as thick as what it normally would be, right?
Right.
So if you look at the unit, the DRC is actually the first half of it for all the controls. Then the back half of it is actually the Wi-Fi receiver for the DSP.
Right.
Because typically, if you were to do Bluetooth or anything else, you don't want it in the back of the vehicle.
No, because it just falls apart.
In the back in the trunk.
Ask me how I know.
Since we do Wi-Fi, high-res audio streaming through Wi-Fi, we wanted it up front with the driver.
So you say high-res audio streaming.
Correct.
At what?
At what bit rate?
Yeah.
So we actually can receive up to 196.24.
Oh, cool.
The native resolution of the DSP is 9624.
Okay, so
right?
down res.
So it will down convert to 9624, true 9624. So high res capability is definitely possible through Toslink or through Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi sounds so good. I love my Wi-Fi, by the way, in my car right now. Oh, gosh. We have 2 cables. Now, I made the mistake right off the bat when we were laying this out. I go, this is the programming cable, and I threw it back in the box. You go, no, that's not the programming cable. There are 2 cables that actually go to the DRC. So you have to run them both.
Per the manual, and everybody knows that's one of my favorite things to say, per the manual. So there's actually a connection to plug the remote cable, the phone jack, directly into here. Right? So that controls the actual DRC for volume, sub control, and preset control.
So Wi-Fi.
And then there's a separate USB to plug in for Wi-Fi.
So I'm guessing if you don't plug this in, the Wi-Fi doesn't work.
The Wi-Fi will not work.
Does the DRC still work?
DRC still works.
Perfect. That's why you said it's 2 boards in one.
Exactly.
That's the phone call, and we only know that's tech support phone calls. Hey, how come the Wi-Fi doesn't work? I didn't plug in the programmer. And of course, high level
harness. This is your 2-channel auxiliary input harness. So, because we sell the unit all over the world, right?
Yeah.
So you have left and right audio in if you were going to do hardwired from an external navigation source, right?
Okay.
Or if you were doing a car that had an external nav box.
Okay.
And you have a dedicated audio output, like some of the older Lexus vehicles and things like that.
Okay.
You can run that audio into here, and it's signal sensing.
So it flips it over.
So whenever any audio comes in here, it will automatically mute. Right?
Yeah.
So literally when you're in, well, I kind of have to show you here. So the aux input.
Hold on.
I'm going to zoom in.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in.
So the aux input here.
Yep.
When you right click it, it asks you how are you doing it. If it's 3.5 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter is going to act like a standard 2-channel input and run all 8 channels.
Okay.
If you go to navigation, like a normal nav system, is going to attenuate the audio so that your nav can talk through the front left output. Actually, it's going to come through the front left and right output.
Yeah, the whole front. Okay.
When you set it to phone, when you right click and set the input to phone actually allows only the front 2 speakers to play, and it completely mutes all the other speakers. Why would it mute all the other speakers?
Because you don't want echo.
Because you don't want echo and you don't want the subwoofers booming if someone has a
I love Bluetooth booming phone.
Really
that is
voice,
the best.
Right? You don't want the subwoofers,
that's the best. So like today when we were talking about the center channel has the car we were working on, the center channel is where the nav comes through. If we didn't want to, and has 8 channels of input high level. So if we were going 8 in, 8 out, high level, we could also feed that center channel input into this, and then when that center channel nav would prompt, it would just, ooh, dang. Okay.
It would mute everything else. It would mute or tone down everything else depending on how you want to do it.
Dean made it early. Well, it's because I answered your question. I know.
Brandon will be in Sarasota for his daughter's BMX race in October. Brandon, I will actually be at that race at the Sarasota BMX track.
Okay, so the reason why they're asking that, let me give you a little background information before we continue on the DSP. I was on Vega and Big D Wiz's podcast.
Okay.
So Derek, he goes by Derek now. And apparently one of the questions they ask on that show all the time is, did you ever ride BMX? I didn't realize that because I don't read the comments when I'm listening to a show. We're just working, we have it playing in the background. So I'm like, no, I don't ride BMX, but do you want to know who rides BMX? And they're like, who? And I go, Jeff Smith rides BMX. And
nice.
Really? I go, oh, dude, he's like, and I told him the whole story about how I asked you, you ride bike, and you're like, no, I ride BMX. And I was like, what? And you're like, yeah. And so I go, you guys need to have him on the show, and then you'll have someone that can go, yes, I ride BMX.
Nice.
So one of these days, if you get a call, I'm sorry now. All right, so that is a really cool feature. This is a feature that none of the DSPs we've talked about has had so far. So
right, so
really cool.
auxiliary is 3 inputs. This is either nav or phone input.
Right.
And then on the side of the unit itself, you have your 3.5 stereo.
So that's the aux input.
That's the other audio aux input for 3.5.
Will the aux trigger just like the others? Like if I put my radio on, or is that? So this is like for a portable player.
This is for a portable player.
Okay.
Right. So you literally choose aux and you tell it 3.5 mil. If it's 3.5 mil, it thinks it's just a regular 2-channel audio input.
So does it?
It's a dedicated source.
Does it do like a Toyota and automatically sense that?
No,
Okay,
only these do sensing.
Okay, those do
only
sensing.
only the hardwire guys do sensing.
All right, that's good to know.
Yep.
Power standard.
Power harness standard.
Is this an output or an input remote turn on?
This is output remote turn on. So you have constant power, switch power, ground, and remote out.
Does it use signal sense, like DC offset and signal sense?
You can do signal sense through the auto remote button. So you have to. Do you want to zoom back in?
Yep. Sorry, let me zoom back in. We're getting close.
So you have to turn.
Oh, I went a little too close. Give me 1 second. Okay,
So you have to go into auto remote as grayed out here.
Yep.
Once you turn it on, now you have threshold for on and off.
Okay.
So depending on how low the volume is to turn it on.
All right. So this is for signal sense.
This is for signal sense.
Does it do DC offset?
No.
Okay, so
signal.
it just uses signal.
Only signal sense.
Perfect.
So you can adjust the dB input depending on how quiet or how loud you want it to be to turn the unit on.
And this is for turn on and off pop.
Yes. Well, this is for. Well, hold on. This is for signal sensing on and off, right?
Oh, okay.
Then in the other menu, you can actually come into this, and then you have.
Hold on, we'll find it.
If you are active, you have a switch off, delay off.
Oh, okay, yes.
Right.
So that's where your
DSP.
delay off is, because we were talking about a DSP last week that did offer
in the
that.
Wi-Fi settings menu, you can actually do the delayed off.
The DSP I have in my car right now just automatically defaults to like 2 minutes.
Wow.
Hey, go baby.
Yeah, we started off with I think 3 seconds.
Okay.
So
yeah, so theirs is automatically 3 minutes. I'm like, or 2 minutes, or it's a long time. I just go whatever. I don't BMX. I drive cars with a system.
Paul, I drive a car with a system too.
Dude, did you see that bike that they put the system on? I think it's in the magazine this month. Check out the magazine this month. Mobile Electronics magazine. Mobile Electronics. Of course, there's a great article about me in there that I bought the expensive poster. You know, the little plaque frame things they do. You know, like
when
the company that does that
in the
contacted
news.
Me. Yes, in the news.
I have a bunch of them in my garage.
Yeah. So they're like, I was like, yeah, sure, send it to me. Why not?
It's huge. It's beautiful when you get it.
I'm excited.
Yes.
It's expensive, but I don't care.
Yes.
Because I got to enjoy all of this.
So every car I've built that's been in Car Electronics, you know, car show review, and all those are on my wall. When I won installed a year, the check and all that stuff's on the wall.
They gave you a check for that?
Well, back then I was the last person to get a check.
They gave you a check for that.
I was the last person to get a check and all the prizes.
Wow.
So yeah, there was lots of prizes I got from all different types of vendors.
Paper. How exciting.
I got $2,000 from.
Will it save? Slow your roll, killer. Will it save the settings if you change the battery?
Yes, it will.
It burns it into it. Now you can obviously back it up to the laptop.
You can back it up to laptop.
And now it auto saves as you're adjusting it, right?
No.
Okay.
It does not auto save.
Okay.
So you literally have to, if you're live, you have to go in,
press and hold.
You can save to your device.
Okay.
And then once you want to store it into the actual DSP, you have an option to store it into the DSP. So you have 6 presets that you can put tunes into.
All right, so we have a general overview of some of the neat stuff it'll do right out of the box. You have your input. So the standard. So let's just go to RCA input. We'll click on that.
All right.
And now we have channel assignment. So
you have configurations and level adjustment.
Okay.
All right.
So which is cool.
And you can also shut this input off. You disable it, and now it's grayed out, so you know RCA you can't use it.
Okay.
Okay. Any source you're not going to use, I always recommend disabling it. Right. So let's turn it back on, and we're going to go through configurations. And here we always start with 2-channel input. Right. So 2-channel input allows you to take 2 channels in and run all 8 channels output.
Right.
Next one is front and rear in order to maintain front and rear fader if you want to do a fading system. Channels 1 and 2 run channels 1 through 4. Channels 3 and 4 run channels 5 through 8. Okay. 3 ways allows you to run a 2-channel signal to run tweeter, mid-range, mid-bass, and then you can run 5 and 6 in to run subwoofer. Now, a lot of people look at this and they go, well, there's so many different options. The reason we do this is because there's other DSPs on the market. Their input mixer is extremely difficult, right?
We won't go there.
So,
well, the thing that we've been seeing is that a lot of DSPs, like last week we did the Forza, and the Forza is set up the same way.
Okay.
The DSR1 set up the same way.
Yep.
A lot of guys are going to this because it is a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, 2 years ago, well, 3 years ago when I was working with the software firm that was doing the app for me, and they were asking, well, we could do this, and like, no, I want it preset because I don't want installers having to fight and everything else like that. No, that way they know exactly what to do. 2-way input, 2 channels, 2-way active front, stereo rears, and then subwoofer out on 7 and 8. Front, rear, center sub if you wanted to do that.
All right, well, let's go back to the last one, and we'll play this game. So we'll hit apply.
Okay, press apply.
All right, so now what we have is we have our basic configuration all loaded in as far as that goes. Now, one of the things that I thought was neat is since we're in tweeter mid for front, rear is full range, and 7 and 8 are going to be subwoofer. We have a preset crossover point already there at 32.
3.2K.
Yeah, 3.2K.
Right. So that's another thing.
So
we start the unit off with safe crossovers.
Yes.
Because a lot of DSPs, when you fire it up, everything's set flat. You have speakers on. You can blow speakers up.
Let me zoom in again.
And do all kinds of stuff, right? So.
Sorry.
Yeah,
so as you guys can see,
at 3.2K at 12 dB with a Butterworth crossover topology.
So we're going to go active. So as you guys know, we're going to immediately change this.
So you can do 2 different things. You can click on it and click your
we're going to go to
your topology. So we're going to go to Linkwitz. We're going to go up to you have the ability to spin the dial if you want, right? If you have touchscreen capability or a mouse you want to use it that way, you can do it. But you can always touch any number.
Ooh.
Hold on.
It might not be cooperating.
It's not active.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're running software here, man.
Oh, there we go.
Ah!
Right click the number, and then you can just choose what topology, what slope you want. So 12 dB Linkwitz there.
There's something I just thought of, and I totally forgot it as we were doing that. Now, let's go to the channel mixer here real quick. So if you right-click on a channel, so when you're setting the crossover, this is kind of cool here. So you naturally, if you're doing tweeters on channels 1 and 2, you want 1 and 2 to match. So if you set channel 1, you immediately want channel 2 to be the same thing. Correct. So now you're going to come over here and you're gonna copy 2.
Correct.
Channel
you can copy 2, and it will do the exact same thing. So now when you go over here to channel 2, it's already set 24 dB Linkwitz Riley.
Now if you go to channel 2 and you're like, wait a minute, that didn't do it, then you can click on it again and go copy from channel 1.
And it would do the same thing. Are you sure you want to copy to this channel? Yes.
Yeah. And then you can link channels together as well.
Exactly.
And that was the third column.
Yep. So you have the ability to link. And once you link channels 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 or 5 and 6, however you want to do it, once you do that, you have the option to copy the configuration. If you copy configuration, it's going to copy everything. Every EQ setting, every output level setting, crossover setting, everything. If you copy just link, it's going to keep the 2 at a, if you have a different volume level, it links them at that point. That way your stagger stays perfect.
Yeah,
right?
so when you add in the next thing we're going to talk about, which is output level. So every
hold on.
Wait, there's more.
Wait. So if you know that these are your tweeters, you right click and you change the name or alias, and you can go left tweeter. Left tweeter.
Perfect.
So you can name each driver.
I like that.
In the guy as well. So let's
go in. Can you name these two, or do they just
we can actually go in and name the presets. Go in and edit title.
Awesome.
And we're going to call it SQ1.
All right. So one of the reasons why I wanted to have Jeff come on about this DSP is because there is this DSP. Most DSPs is what you see is what you get. Everything is on the surface. They wanted to make sure that every adjustment was on the same page. So in order to do that, there's a ton of hidden menus. So you can literally click on each button, right click, left click, and find more stuff, which we'll keep going and we'll get to. So we've talked about the crossover. So these two guys here are the crossovers. So when you're doing a band
high
pass,
pass filter, low pass filter.
So click on a band pass filter real quick.
So 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 are presetted band pass filters.
So here is the low, here is the high, and there again, we can go in and we can change these to Linkwix, Butterworth, or Basil.
Yep.
If we want to make if we want to go to 5 and 6 for a second. So if we want to make these two, 5 and 6 is rear fill. Obviously right now it's a bandpass. If we didn't want that, then we could just come over here.
Turn off the low pass.
And then boom, now we have a full range high pass crossover. Perfect.
Yep, just like that.
Calculator. Let's hit the calculator button. Okay, there we go. So here it is. This is your time alignment page. And the nice thing about this is it's called calculator to tell you that it's going to do the fun math that you need to have done.
Auto-calculates your time delay for you.
So we can just add in all our random numbers here, and it will automatically zero out the farthest one and then give us the milliseconds for these.
So also notice that once you name a channel, it carries over everywhere.
I was like,
everywhere you go, it carries that channel name over.
And
so
then,
literally,
so when you type in numbers, you're just going to hit compute
right? So
here.
we're just going to put in 20, 24, 28, 30, 34.
That's a really tight
38,
car.
Yeah.
56.
Yeah. 56. 56.
It's a motorcycle.
And then you press compute, and it does all of your time delay for you in milliseconds.
So here's what I keep saying when you do the 0 point. This is what it's trying to do here. And these are adding the rest out from there. So, and like in a pickup truck, a lot of the times in a pickup truck, this guy here is the furthest speaker.
Correct.
So this will be the 0 point. Sometimes this guy here is, but a lot of the times this is the farthest speaker from your head. So you got to figure you're sitting here, this is farther away than from here to the subwoofer underneath the back seat. So, but you want to find your 0 point. This is important.
Yeah.
And it does it for you. And up here you tell it inches or centimeters.
Yep. And then once you do that, it gives you all of your milliseconds. And then at this point, you would press apply. Once you do that, now it applies your delay to every channel.
And of course, channel 5 is highlighted right now, so that's giving us the information of channel 5.
So this is left rear?
It could be the ear. There we go. Now, the other thing that we always talk about too is level control. So this is our level control. Now, we can also go back in and fine-tune delay. I should have mentioned that. Sometimes when you're doing time alignment and you put in the numbers and you're like, yay! Sometimes you have to go in and fine-tune it just a hair, just move it over just a touch, a smidge.
Yeah, so we do 0.01 millisecond adjustments. So there is extremely finite adjustment you can do with...
Which is awesome. This was last week when we were talking with the Forza, it has that ability to do it as a separate thing. They've gone ahead and built that right into the main controller. So you can just go dab.
Or if you want, you can just use the click wheel and use the actual wheel to adjust your time delay. And everything's real time. So if the DSP was connected and running real time,
you'd hear it.
You could actually hear it. So let's put it back to where
you know what I forgot to mention? This is what I forgot to mention. This is controlled right now from Windows machine. It'll do Mac and it's iPad. And this is exactly what you see on an iPad. This right here. And there's no modules or anything like that. You just download the app, pair it to it, and you're done. Because it does it all over Wi-Fi.
the very first DSP to
I know.
So Windows...
That made me real excited. Remember we had that hour-long conversation.
Mac computer, iPad, and Android tablets.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Android phone and iPhone as well.
Oh, yeah. It's a smaller menu.
Only for RC. Only for the RC app.
Now, as we were getting ready to say, this is the level control, so we can go over here and we can adjust the level on each channel. So if we need to, and it gives you this. Now, one other thing which is really cool. So we haven't talked about the EQ yet, but we've got all our crossover points, we've got our time alignment, we've got a bunch of stuff done. And we have to keep clicking through here to figure out what we've done. You can come over to here and click this guy right here. This is cool. And now you tell it which channels you want to see over here.
Right.
And it's going to populate all that information down here.
Watch this. Let me go back and do this really quick. Let's go back in here.
You do that. I'm going to check and see what we got here. Android connect wirelessly. Yeah, because it's got... I'm going to zoom out. Why? Go ahead and label all that stuff. Okay. Take your time. So because it uses Wi-Fi, everything is done wirelessly. There's no Bluetooth dongle. It's done over Wi-Fi, so you get much faster control. How can I get a job like your special guest? Actually, right now they are hiring. Ernie at tech support is hiring tech, so everyone starts as a tech more or less,
I
and
think
you kind of work
to know
your way
about
through the
getting on
company.
the show.
No, I think he wants to do what you do. Getting on the show ain't that hard. I mean, you show up and you're at the right time. Bobby's in the house at Disneyland, and you suck. Okay, I'm joking. I love you, Bobby. Calculated time alignment confuses many. This should make it much easier. Oh, totally. I had a phone call yesterday, which could have been any day this week, about someone was trying to figure out the DSR1 and how the DSR1 does its math, and it's like nothing makes any sense. And I'm like, no, it's the right math. We actually backed out of it and did the math. I think you were here that night when we were doing all our math on the DSR1, because I was like, what are they doing? Because it doesn't make any sense. And it was like, oh no, they're doing the right math. It's nice when it's nice when a calculator works. I need a job too. Oh, Adavision. Yeah. Yeah. You need to learn how to install, man. Did you see he got second place?
No.
Jeff, I'm guessing this is your baby. Jason, this is totally his baby. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's his baby, all right. Sucks to be me. No, it doesn't, Bobby, but yes, it does. It does. Yeah, Star Wars land all day long. What do you think of the Sony amp with the DSP built into it? Have you had a chance to play with that?
Yes. It's actually pretty cool for the price point.
He's being nice.
Cool. No, I'm being serious. It's pretty cool for the price point.
Yeah?
I mean, can you get better? Of course. You could go Forza. You could go all the way up. Maybe Moscone has DSP amps. Arc has DSP amps. Audio Control has DSP amps. For the price point, the Sony piece will be great for a good average everyday system.
I want to ask Tazi to send us one, but I know how much fun we're having with the GX9, and I know he wants it in a car, but we're getting way more playtime out of it. Just going, by the way, have you seen the GX9? Oh.
When you guys play with that, I gotta show you all the ins and outs with that guy.
By the way, have you seen the Sony GX9? It is awesome. Okay, sorry. All right, we ready to zoom back in?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to zoom back in and pick up where we left off. Let me go back in here. All right, and perfect. So we've set, so what he was doing is he went ahead and labeled everything, so we're good there. We changed the crossovers.
Yep, changing our crossovers to linkwidths like how we like, 24 dB. Oh.
Nobody, the only thing basil's good for is like, what, pizza? Well, that's oregano, my bad.
Come on.
So we talked about it before. The reason why, and do you want to explain the reason why we do 24?
By doing 24, 24 is going to be the safest crossover roll-off, right, slope, so that it's going to keep other frequencies that we don't want out of that driver. Now, using the linkwidth topology makes the sum of both crossovers flat at that crossover point.
Because it does a flipperoonie?
It actually is back into phase.
Yes.
Yeah, it flips it back into phase. 360 crossover point.
Yep.
Correct. Crossover slope.
Yeah. Because what would happen if it didn't is if we drew another graph here, where those two intersect, there would be a dip in the crossover point. And
so Butterworth does a boost.
They can't see your fingers.
Okay. So Butterworth does a
Hold on.
boost.
We'll zoom back out.
Yeah.
We'll zoom back out. Whoa, sorry.
Yeah, so Butterworth crossover points will do a 3 dB boost at the crossover point.
Yep.
Linkwidth does a dip that actually is flat acoustically.
Yes.
When you add the two together.
Yeah. What does Bezel do?
Bezel is
Basil.
I
know, right? It's that page you skipped over in the book.
Because I never used it. I mean, literally, I've never used the Bezel crossover topology. It's always Butterworth or linkwidth for everything that I've done.
Yeah, strange. I know, right? Okay, let's zoom back in. I like when you start talking about like 48 dB per octave crossover.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess I just need a wall.
Exactly, like brick wall. See, it's like here, like exactly. You see how tight that roll-off is.
Yeah.
So frequencies, if your tweeter's crossed over at 3.2K,
it's going to stop.
You know that an octave below 3.2,
it's going to be nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you're next to nothing at that point in time. So 3.2 and an octave below that is 1.6. there's nothing. 24 dB down. So it's like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, you're not hearing anything at that point.
So let's go in here and adjust our levels. Right.
All right. So we're on tweeter 1, driver's side. So
we're going to bring it down
-2
dB.
Yep.
Right. We're going to bring this mid range down. Let's say 2.5, 3.
Really?
Watch.
Okay.
So you're going to see why I'm doing this.
Okay.
We're going to bring the right rear mid range down 1.5, and so when you go back to the screen you were talking about, right?
Yep.
So now we can turn on all these
it does
drivers.
look way cooler.
And you can see.
And this is the track of the hurricane and where it's going to hit us in Florida.
What's Dennis's name on the news?
Dennis Phillips.
Dennis Phillips.
Yeah. These are called the spaghetti models.
Right.
But anyways, all that information is now right here so that we can, at a glance, we can scroll through and see what we've done. So if we're sitting in the car and like go back right there, boom. So we look at that and we say, wait a minute, we left that at 12. We wanted that at 24. It's not active, so it's not going to allow you to go in and change. If it was active, you could go in and change it.
Yeah.
So we just saw that. So it's like you're doing a lot of click-through, and you forgot one just because you're doing a ton of click-through. I mean, and you're not copying and pasting because you're not that guy that's going to use that thing that just came up. This will allow you to, at a glance, see what the heck you've just done.
Right.
Butter does the booster. Everyone click the like button. Yes, Axeman. Yes, thank you. I still have your water. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so now we're changed. So that was what I wanted to show them. I wanted to be able to go in there and show them this because I feel this is super important to be able to see.
So in this overview
screen,
screen, right? So you can see all your crossovers, all your delays, your phase, everything. So you can actually switch through and you can look at just the crossovers.
Yeah, right.
You can look at the EQ if you've adjusted the EQ.
We're going to get to that.
Right, and then we'll come back and look at the screen again once the EQ is active.
Oh, there was a little dip on one of them.
Yeah, because we've already hit something on one of the
I probably bumped one of these. That's okay.
There we go, this guy right here.
Oh, because it's highlighted green.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. So now we have 3. Let's do. Oh, hey, it's a close-up of Dean. So now we have 3 of the 4 things that we need in order to be a DSP. And to recap, that is going to be our time alignment, channel adjust, and crossover points. So we have all that set up. So the hard part is essentially not done. The fun part is next, though, because that's when we get into the actual equalization portion of it. Now, this has, as you see, you go, wait a minute, this doesn't look like 31 bands. You've told us in the past that it's 31 bands. How come there's not 31 bands here? There's a button right here.
So you have page 1.
Boom.
Okay. So we actually have 30 bands.
Okay, close
30
enough.
bands.
30
right?
bands. That's
so
okay, though.
Page 1 is 15 bands.
Okay.
Page 2 is the next 15 bands.
Yeah, because you'd have to have 32.
Exactly.
Ah, who got shorted?
20.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no 20. Yeah, so 31. So yeah.
Dang.
So, yeah, so there's no 20. Yeah.
So
we started 25.
Oh, nah, crap. Take it back. Anyways, so the nice thing about that too is, so like right now we're on the high pass. It goes from 20 to 800. So click on channel 1 for a second. You're going to spend, for this tweeter, these are the only frequencies you have to deal with.
Right.
So you don't need all those other bands. Now, when you're in the mid-range, yeah, you're going to be paging back and forth.
You literally see where you stop on the tweeter's output is right here between 2 and 2.5K. So you know,
right there.
Right, all of these adjustments here that you can make.
Well, they're really going to force the issue.
Oh, yeah.
Please let me hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. Ain't going to happen.
So I'm just going to move a few of these around so you can see as you make adjustments, they all turn bright green to show you exactly what's actually being adjusted away from 0.
Now, right now, this is acting as a paragraphic EQ. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, paragraphic EQ. And the standard paragraphic EQs we love to talk about is there. I'm going to use the term "what you see is what you get," and I didn't mean to say there again because it is there again, but you know what I mean. This allows you to just, when you play a standard RTA that has the 31 lights, you go to this frequency, you see there's a problem, you drag it up, you drag it down. That's all you can do.
Right. And we do plus or minus 10, where some guys do more negative than they do positive.
Which is nice.
Right, so we do plus or minus 10 dB.
Now, we talked about this DSP before, and we said, hey, it's a parametric EQ. Now, the reason why a parametric is a little bit more fun than a graphic is you see he went over here and he adjusted every single one of these to get whatever the heck he's got going on here. A dead guy. That's a bad sinus rhythm. Okay. Now, if we were looking at it in real time, this would be terrible. Like, you've really done your job wrong if this is what you ended up with.
Right. Or you have a horrible tweeter.
You have a horrible tweeter. Right. Or as Andy, it's one of the three things, and they're all bad. So everyone, just calm down.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you put it; it's going to be wrong. So let's say we didn't need to go quite so crazy. Let's change to channel 2, so we can start over, right? Okay. So now we have a clean one. Now let's say we have a problem right here at 8K, because 8K seems to be a real popular
on your RTA.
place
If
to
you have
suck.
a problem at 8K,
Let me zoom in. Hold on. Let me zoom in. All right, so we're back on. So when we're looking at the RTA, 8K is just it's too loud. It's like, wow, why do we have a boost at 8K? So now we click on it, and it's really not on the RTA. It's really not doing what we want, because it's still like over left and right of it is like,
yeah. So we're down 4.5 dB right there.
But in the car, it's still this mound of crap happening. That's where a parametric EQ is going to be helpful. So now we right-click onto this.
And then you go down to the number.
Oh, okay, my bad. Right-click, and there. So click
now
on.
you can adjust gain, frequency, and the Q. So if you want to go a very tight Q.
Nope, gotta click on Q first.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I've been making that mistake all day.
So if you want to make a really tight Q.
Now you want that's
well,
a wide
I mean
Q.
wide Q. You go. I'm trying to do it here.
Yeah, I know it's tough. Trust me.
So 1 is a very wide Q.
Yep.
And you can go all the way up to a very tight Q of 15.
So what this is telling you, if there's only a problem, like there's a spike at 8K, we could just tune in to just 8K. We can pull down just that number. Now, if we do that, and let's say it's not necessarily 8K that is a problem. Let's say it's 8.5.
Yep.
We can come over here and we can change this to 8.5. And we can just sit there and we can move it back and forth on the RTA, and we can see it move, and we can pull it down. Now, the nice thing about doing that wider Q is that a lot of the times you get
the other frequencies,
sawtooth, as they like to call it. And by going wide on that, that'll pull all that into behaving correctly. So that's why parametric, everyone's like, oh, ooh, parametric, you need parametric. And I would agree with that, because at the end of the day, even though there's 30 bands here to play with a parametric setup, right, you only adjust maybe 4, 5.
It depends, yeah.
It
depends, but yeah, parametric is super cool.
Super cool. And that's why Jeff did it, because Jeff is super cool.
So, I mean, having 30 band parametric is a lot of DSP power.
It is a ton of DSP power. So, with the parametric, we get the 3 things that make it a parametric, and that was 4. We get adjustable center frequency, we get adjustable Q, and we get adjustable gain. That adjustable center frequency is actually one of the more important things, because it doesn't lock us into that number. You know, because they don't always cooperate, sound. It's a funny thing. Looks like he's drawing a butt. Just saying. What's up, Anthony? Was watching your video today. Ant-Man on audio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was watching that today on they were doing a Lambo, and I was really tired. So I'm sitting on the workbench waiting for the show to start. I'm watching his video and I have it down like this, and I'm going, and then Paul walks in and I almost fell off the counter. I was like, my bad. You know, a skinny butt. So you're drawing a butt, but it's a skinny butt. We won't have the conversation. So, what kind of butt do you like?
So now that we've done that, we're going to come over here to our adjustment screen, and now you can actually see what the EQs do.
Okay, let me zoom back in, because that looks really cool. Okay.
So now you can see exactly what the EQ effect has on each speaker output.
Now this is extremely helpful, because when you're tuning a car, especially like full active like this, you're going to tune right tweeter, left mid, right mid. The rear typically, do you do independent left and right rear, or do you just do a summed rear? As far as EQ goes.
I will do independent on every driver.
You're the man.
Yeah, I will do independent on every driver. I mean, because you're going to have different responses based
I know,
upon...
but it's so low anyways. No one's ever hearing
yeah.
it. I just get it right and move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can turn on all.
Right.
Let's
now you
just
can
crash
turn on
that.
all, and you can see the
Ooh.
sum of your crossover
All fears.
and your and your EQ all together. And what's really neat, let's go back here to all. And what's really cool is that you can actually, let's say you're tuning the left side of the car.
Yes,
you can shut off the rights, so you can see exactly how the right side of the car is blending with itself. So you have the front tweeter, the front mid-range.
At all. This was a game I used to play on my phone, I think.
Yeah, and then the rear speaker. So
and the other thing too is like just turn on 1 and 2 or left and right tweeter. So now you can kind of get an idea of where that problem was that is only on that side of the car. So you might want to go and take a look. Maybe the tweeter didn't get mounted perfectly flat. Maybe the tweeter's getting pinched behind the grill. Something strange could be happening there, or it could just be something acoustically wrong with the car. It happens, but being able to see both of them at the same time allows you to do that. It's pretty cool.
Chili dogs.
What about chili dogs? I like big bucks. I cannot lie. Adam?
Michael says, "Are you two going to hang out after this stream and get chili dogs?" What?
I think we're talking about butts, and it could go into a bad place. I don't know. Remember, kids watch this show, people.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have played with the EQ. We've had a lot of fun. What have we missed?
Let's see. Let's close this guy out here. So, crossover presets.
Oh, yeah, presets.
So, the presets have the ability to be stored in the DSP. You can store up to 6 presets. You can name the presets just like we named the actual...
Yeah, you named it there.
Yep.
SQ1.
And what's really neat is that when you store them, you can store the file to your PC, to your iPad, to your Android tablet, to your Mac computer. So, you can recall a file or email the file, again.
One thing I forgot to ask. The volume knob on this, is that selectable function? Or is that just...
It's 2 functions.
Oh, it's tap it.
So it's normal volume.
Right.
And every click is a half dB.
Okay.
So there's lots of revolutions.
Lots of revolutions.
Right, lots of revolutions. If you push it once, it's mute. But if you push and hold it, the LED color turns
Changes.
from whatever you
Which
set
you
it
can
for.
come over here
right?
and change that.
Whenever it's green, it's sub-level mode. So you can adjust sub-level.
Click on that real quick.
So when you click the DRC icon,
you can assign things.
Right, you have adjustable LED color, so you have RGB LEDs in the controller to match it to your car's interior.
Yes.
If you want to have it visible. And then you can assign buttons 4, 5, and 6 to be selectable sources.
Oh.
So if you're going to go toslink in, if you're going to go high level in, or aux input in.
I'm not going to lie, this would be cool if you could use that.
To do it in here?
Yeah, have these.
Well, the reason why we do it is because a lot of people, when they don't read the manual, they typically look at it and go, oh, preset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. So within the user, the quick
so
start
the 4,
guide,
5, and 6 are the 4, 5, and 6 there.
Exactly.
That's what I was talking about.
So when you first power it up,
power
it up, you'll see it's always set to RCA. So button 4 is illuminated and button 1 is illuminated to let you know when you're connected to Wi-Fi. Okay, so button 1 controls the LEDs and Wi-Fi. Button 2 is preset up and button 3 is preset down.
So it's just not preset 1 through 6 on there.
Nope.
See, that's what I thought it was.
It's multifunction DRC. Right.
So how do I change presets?
How do you change presets? You go 2 to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to go up.
Does the color change on here to indicate what
the LED moves to what number?
All right, so you're hitting one button to move the color. Oh, okay, that makes total sense.
And then if you go preset 3, you want to go from 6 back to 5, the button just goes.
So it's up or down?
It's up or down, exactly. And all that's in the user guide that's in the box.
Whoa. Listen to this guy talk about reading that crap. All right. Remember back in the 90s, one had a system and at most an EQ and a crossover. Oh, you're being nostalgic now. Yeah, back when it was easy.
When you had, what, a 4XS and 2 EQTs?
Whoa, slow down. No, you had a big rain.
Well, that was later with the cool kids, but we had 4XS
cool
with EQTs. We had a Phoenix AX406 with an EQ230, or you had the super cool.
Okay. Get some room in here. Okay.
What was the Orion crossover? The external one. It was
not the CRX. You're talking about the big panel mount one?
Yeah.
Oh, those suck.
The CRX in-dash one was cool too.
I had that one.
And then 600. They had a bunch of different in-dash EQs.
Hold on. Keep talking.
So the amount of accessories Orion had back in the day was insane. They had
I got the catalog here somewhere.
4 or 5 different in-dash EQs. There was a 2-way. There was a front and rear 2-way. There was a
Yep.
3-way, and then they had the trunk mount EQ as well. Trunk mount crossover.
The trunk mount crossover was a piece of crap.
Right.
We actually
Their
didn't
monthly
think it was
magazine.
bad.
Their monthly magazine was always super cool. I know we've talked about them all the time. Yeah.
It's right here. There's the monthly magazine. Hey, there's a picture of Chip Foose from. Yeah, there's 23 episodes. Ah, crap. All right, well, I have it here somewhere, and apparently I can't. Oh,
Catalog.
I found it. Hang on.
If you guys saw Dean's collection of nostalgia over here,
Dude, it's Orion, man. So here it is.
nice.
Look at that, baby.
What was
All
the
right.
coolest piece that Orion ever made for in your mind?
I'm gonna show you. Right now.
My coolest piece was not an amplifier. It didn't make sound at all.
It was this, the 100 LED display.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it's just a display that had LEDs. It was like precursor to anything. It wasn't the MBR 70, was it?
MBR 70
Oh
was
my
my
god,
very
I
favorite
sold
thing.
so many of the
MBR
70s.
70 was an intelligent dual battery isolator.
Multi-battery regulator.
Yep.
This
So
guy.
if one battery dropped down, it would literally switch your alternator charging lead to charge the battery whose voltage went down, and it would switch back and forth.
So this was my
Extremely
favorite
cool.
right here. This is just a standard EQ, 6 bands. That guy right there.
Yep.
I had it was just a standard piece of plexi, but they had a light behind where the Orion was,
And
so
it would light up?
That would light up.
Yeah.
So I had it in my overhead console, and it was DIN cable. So that was like it was like
Phantom power supplies.
I just got to run one cable up to it. Oh no, it was an in and out.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh my god, yeah. But so there you go. So there's your EQ. There's your 500. There's your 300 CRX. It's all there.
Michael asks, can it do left minus right or right minus left for rears?
We wanted to talk
No,
about that.
it cannot. To create a center channel, no, it cannot do that. When you do center channel output, there's a option for center channel out,
Yeah.
and it is just left plus right.
Right. 'Cause
Right.
It doesn't have an
it
up
doesn't
mix.
have an up mixer
Up
inside
mixer.
of it.
But okay, so one feature that we wanted to talk about that I forgot to talk about in the EQ was the ability to turn, to link everything together and turn up the treble. So
Yes.
re-EQ the whole signal.
Right.
And I should have mentioned that. So, and that has to do with when we go right click on here, right, or right click there.
So you want to link them all together?
Yes, you want to link them all together.
So
just
if you
boost
want to
treble.
link to channel 2, just link. If you want to link to channel 3, just link.
He's gonna
link
do
to
that.
channel
Let me get a little closer. I know we moved it farther away, but
4, just link.
now this is something that's
So this
really
is-
cool.
So you want to boost the treble in the entire vehicle?
I just want to boost the treble in the entire vehicle.
Okay, so then you can come in here and you can link this guy to channel 1, just link, and you can link this guy, channel 6 here. So now all 6 speakers
Yeah.
that do high frequency are together.
All right, so now if we go back to channel 1,
Okay.
all right, let's come over here and let's just boost.
Page
Yep,
2.
go back page 2. Let's just boost 10K because that's a big noise. All right, so we boosted 10K. Now let's come back over here to mid. All right, it's not going to have it because it's
This
out
is
of our
mid-range,
realm.
right?
Let's go to rear. It boosted 10K. And it didn't change any of this.
Right.
Boosted 10K, boosted 10K. This feature is non-existent in most DSPs, okay? Like it is like when you say that to somebody, hey, can I just need to go back in. This is why, like on a DSR1, they added the global EQ. This is what global EQ is fixing. So this has a turn on and off global EQ where you can just go in and you can click and link everything together. After you're done with the tune, if the customer come back in or you yourself are playing with it, you're like, you know, there's this mid-range or this I need, and you can go, fine, no problem. Turn them all on because for the most part the EQ is where you want it. You just might want a little bit more of this.
Right.
You can make it into a global EQ with just doing that,
Just by
and it's
linking
like,
everything together.
but it doesn't say global EQ, so a lot of people don't know it exists. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Jeff from Parts Express, I've known Jeff for a long time before he even worked at Parts Express, and we were both like Ryan was just saying, we were both in Still Valley. So there was like the show we went to a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, this was the
Is this the
8th
one-
year.
Is this the one Brian just destroyed?
Right. Yeah, Brian
Jesus.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were all at Still Valley Regional, that was in Mountaineer Gaming Resort in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really awesome. Lots of really high quality cars there.
Speaking of shows, guess who called me today?
Who called you today?
You want to guess? Oh wait, I'll give you a clue. Hey guys.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian Gowan.
Hey, call it today.
Nice. He was on earlier.
Yeah, I know. Brian watches. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Robert Vin, wait. Sorry, buddy, missed you earlier. Y'all were rich. I was lucky to have a Radio Shack EQ booster. Okay, the
Radio Shack had cool stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The Optimus stuff, they made a lot of cool stuff.
Well, I mean, I when I was a kid, I'd go back every month to get my free battery.
Yes.
You know, they had the free battery punch card.
Yep.
So that was, how can I become, oh, that's a good question. How can I become an IASCA judge? Very interested in that possibility.
Coming to shows, so there hasn't been a IASCA judges training in this area in a while, but you can actually go to the IASCA website, IASCA.com. You can also go to SQology's website or SQology's Facebook page.
Yeah, if you guys don't follow SQology on Facebook, definitely head over there and do that.
There's all the organizations. Mecca has a big judges training every year.
Is it SQ for Dummies?
No, that's just a group.
I know, but that's a cool group.
Yep, there's that group too. But SQology is run by Clifton, who runs SQology. So Clifton is a show coordinator. So whether it's IASCA, Mecca, or now Emma, that we have in the U.S. Emma's from the UK or Europe.
It's way
European
bigger over there than
Mobile Media Association.
Yeah.
Emma's going to take off because Emma actually gets the crowd involved in some of their aspects. So it's really cool. And it's going to give the pro audio guys a place to play also, but from a sound quality standpoint.
Whoa, slow your roll, dog.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Super cool. And you have to perform. So if you guys if you've ever seen the videos from Japan, Vietnam, or
kind
UK,
of crap?
Yes.
Dude, I'm bringing Fernando.
There's a section where you actually do SPL. It's called ESPL, where you literally open your car up and you play it, and you play. You have judging tracks. The judge stands so far away from the vehicle to judge it on the actual sound quality disc. Then you have your own personal track, and that's when you perform.
You went to the show last year,
right?
Damn,
dude,
I knew I should have gone with
Mecca's
you.
going to be awesome.
I think I should go next year if you're going to that and just totally piss Haley
September.
off.
We're going to September.
This September?
Yes.
I'll be a kicker.
Yeah.
I'm tapping out on my days off here.
Jeff, do you have an updated playlist you've been using?
Because we posted your playlist.
Okay, then I'll update it for you.
Okay.
I have lots of new tracks I can update.
Where do you get your music from?
I can give it to you either. I'm not a Spotify guy.
Neither am I.
So either iTunes or Tidal.
Okay, just send me a link to both.
Okay.
Yeah, because Tidal probably the easiest because you don't have to actually have a Tidal subscription and look at a playlist.
Okay. All right.
So, because I've done that with a couple guys. They'll send me their playlist, and I just go on and copy them all night.
Okay, cool. yeah, that works.
Where's Fernando? Fernando had to make a trip to the airport today, so he left at 3 o'clock, and I was sad, and that was it. So I actually had to come in early this morning to get the car done we were working on before he left, because thank God I did, too, because it was just a crazy day. So... Right. Lots of fun there. So I asked Jeff to come in because we knew we wanted to talk about this because as you can see, this is one of the more complex DSPs that we've talked about. I think probably next to this was probably the Forza was the next complicated DSP. But there again, the reason why this thing is the price that it is the amount of stuff that it has, unlike the $250 DSPs.
Exactly.
They don't do all of that stuff. I mean, this one feature in the EQ alone is freaking priceless.
Yeah.
But being able to do this, being able to turn on and off with an aux or something like that, factory integration is pretty hot.
And the ability for it to work across all platforms.
Are you into Miami bass music?
I used to be. I was a DJ Laz.
You were a DJ Laz guy.
I was a DJ Laz. I worked in a music store. We've talked about this, Camelot Music, when I was in high school. Yeah. So I worked at the Stereo Shop and I worked at Camelot Music. So DJ Laz probably had...
It does explain your eclectic music taste. Because if you follow him on Instagram, he's always posting like, I'm on an airplane listening to this song.
Right,
I'm like,
traveling music, yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I gotta look this shit up.
A lot of times it's old school hip hop.
Oh yeah, most of the time it is old school hip hop.
Yeah, and then a lot of times I don't post. Like I listen to everything.
I know.
I was listening to Enya the other day, and somebody was like, "What? Like you listen to that?
Who doesn't?"
Yeah.
Dude, I was driving home the other day, and so like I try to call people when I'm driving because it's like I have time, and so I pull in the garage, and it flipped over, and it's I'm like. I just sat in the car for a minute.
Yeah.
Just listened, floated. I said, I'm going to fall asleep before I run. I got to go run. Turn this crap off. Yeah. Put some bodies on the floor.
Dean's like, whoa, Camelot Music Store. Yes.
Dude, let me tell you
with
what.
With the little punch card with the music notes.
I had a hat. I had
you had the Camelot hat?
Yes, dude, because I had the punch card.
Nice.
I turned it in and I go, how many do I need to get the hat? Yeah. And they're like, you need that? Give me the hat. They had to go. That was the only hat. They had to go get it out of the window because that was the last one. And I was like, I want the hat. And they're like, we got it. No, you got one right there. Give me the freaking hat.
So I worked in a mall store. And they'd have the recording artists come through.
Really?
So I got to meet Public Enemy. I got to meet DOC. Right? I got to meet DOC. I got to meet MC Breed. You remember MC Breed?
No.
All right. Anyway, I got to meet Snoop Dogg, Tupac, and
Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac, and a few other people.
Dang. Yeah. Was this in Atlanta?
No, this was actually when I was still living in Alabama, going to high school.
Yep. They came through Alabama.
Yeah, dude, we had. Damn. There was all kinds of concerts through the Civic Center.
So, do you remember Tigger and Bunny?
I do.
They came to our high school.
What?
Oh yeah, they performed that.
The Cars
song.
That Go Boom.
They performed that up on the stage.
Oh wow.
And you gotta remember. So like in our high school, well you don't have to remember because you weren't there, but in our high school there was literally 4 cars with bass. All right, and we were all those guys. Yeah. There was a bunch of other guys that were quiet about it. You know, they'd come after to be like, "Hey man, you got the. What do you got to do that?" You know, it's like I'm like, dude, this ain't a drug deal. Everyone slow down. Right. But we had the REM. I just call them all the REM guys because that's all Joshua Tree, bro. I didn't even know what I was so. I was like. What is Joshua Tree? What are these shirts? I had one of my guys that take me aside and said, dude, listen, it's REM, it's music, it's okay, man. I was like, is it good? I don't know, it's that crap.
Dude, it was Magic Mike, Techmaster PEB, DJ Laz.
So we just did it.
Dude, it was all kinds of
video we just did on the A to B in the Raptor that we did a year ago. That was a year ago, by the way, guys. That video that we just posted on the Raptor, we did that a year ago. It's a whole nother long story, but I played Techmaster PEB in it. I was like, and I'm editing it, and I'm going, this is gonna make it. That's it. And I'm waiting for the bring the bass, boo, boo. And I was like, just waiting for the drop, and I was like, okay, cut it now. And I just kept, I hope I'm gonna get slammed for this because it's got to be in there. It was so cool. Love Enya. Oh, there you go.
There's nothing like bass music, man.
No, you know,
driving around back in the day, and there was hardly any words.
Funny because you're like you got SQ.
I am the SQ guy, but I still love.
We all bass. Love it, but it's like, and I'm hammering those Boston Acoustic Factory 6x9s in the rear deck of my car. They're just dropping hard.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny that it's like, you know, you didn't get into it because of the bass.
No,
you got in it for the SQ.
I got in it for the.
I got in it for the SQ. Crap.
Yeah, I got into it because I was just like, this is amazing when I heard this car on the showroom at that shop. You know, so it was. Yeah, but no, the bass is fun because you literally don't go, man, did you hear those tweeters going down the road?
No.
People don't complain about tweeters rattling their windows. You know. When
they do now.
Yeah,
they do now
because of the pro audio guys.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll hear it. I can. It's funny when you said that because I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I hear that shit all day long going up and down the road.
There was a guy, Cameron. Cameron had a Blazer, and you could hear Cameron for blocks.
Yeah,
you know when he was going down the Parkway where we lived, and it was just like, dude, I gotta get that. I gotta get that.
So when I first started here, a guy comes in and he goes, "Yo, man, I want to hear it from US 19." Okay, so just guys, so US 19 is about a mile.
About a mile from here.
About a mile from here, and there's a whole mall between us and US 19. And I go, well, you're gonna need two T212s, or you're gonna need there's a Ram, so we'll put 3 15s, 3 T215s.
Nice.
With 1,000 watt on each one, a T 1001 on each one, and we did 4 8-inch loud Rockfords. It was all Rockfords. So it was 4 8-inch louds, four tweeters, 6s in all the doors with tweeters in the dash. So it was all louds, and with 2 the 404s, power and everything.
Yeah.
So it was I think that was the last actual custom build we did here before Paul was like,
no more.
Let's just not do that anymore because it took all week. You know, because it was just me. It was before Fernando started. And actually, the video of the car is in the classic installs, or we did Dean Classic installs for a while. We did a series. I found all my old classic build videos.
Time Warp, yeah, Brian. I remember Time Warp.
Oh, hey Brian, there you are, buddy.
Yeah.
we did that, and one of them was this Dodge Ram, and so he comes back. He's like, oh, because we gave him the price, and he's like, oh man, well what if I go down to P3s? I said, all right, so I'll walk. I said, come here. I said, see that stoplight? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah. I said, they'll hear you from there. You want to be heard all the way down there. So he comes back and he goes, all right, let's do the 19 system. I said, okay. So we build this whole system. This guy comes in like 2 weeks later and he goes, hey man, did y'all build the blue Dodge Ram? I said, yeah. He goes, dude, that dude be rolling through the hood and like your walls just start to shake and like your windows start to vibrate and you're just looking around like, what's going on? And it's like 30 seconds before this dude rolls by the house, man. He played that thing all the way up all the time. I had batteries for days in that thing because he I mean, it was a play system. It wasn't like the SPL systems where it's just like, hey, isn't that cool? No, he wanted to beat on this thing.
So I was really surprised a few weekends ago when I was home in between trips, driving down the causeway.
Yeah.
People were actually playing their systems.
Yes.
I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
And since I lived here,
yeah,
I've never seen it.
Oh, they do it on the weekends.
Dude, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It made me feel good because people are actually enjoying their stereo systems.
I know, right?
And there were no cops.
No, they don't bother them there.
No cops.
Because there's nothing around there to bother them.
So if you want a place to go demo your system,
just don't go to Dunedin Causeway.
Go to
the Courtney Campbell Causeway.
We are respectable people in Dunedin.
No, we have condos on the causeway, so they get really... Why is there noise? What is that, Tipsy? Booby?
So Paul Weston says...
Johnny, what's up?
What is your go-to SQ subwoofer?
Have I showed you my Morel?
The Morel was nice. I would have to say...
It does have a 5.1-inch voice.
I would have to say my go-to SQ subwoofer, if I had... Power wasn't a consideration.
It never is.
It would probably be...
I'm dying to hear this.
It's okay. It's car dependent.
No, give me two. Give me two.
Car dependent.
Go ahead. Give me both. I don't care.
I
just want to hear it, and they do too. I don't really think they care.
They don't make it anymore?
That's fine.
If it was... It would be a JL Audio 13W6.
Really?
The 13W6 was amazing.
Yeah, because it had the sound quality of the W6.
And the output capability.
And it was loud as shit because it was that extra inch.
Right.
Because sometimes all it takes is an extra inch.
Right. I thought we were going to do this. I
didn't. Your mind went there. Mine didn't.
If it's something that's made now, I would probably have to say I've really been enjoying my Audio Frog GB10.
Really?
Yes. Did
I tell you the Audio Frog story?
No.
So Randy Schwartz texted me the other day. He goes, dude, you're not going to believe this. Some guy, fan of the show, drove 2.5 hours to go to his store and listen to a GB12. And when he got there, of course, he was like, dude, I watched this 5-star show and Chris Bennett's on it. I love audio control and all this. So he's immediately texting me going, dude, one of your fans from your show just drove 2 hours to come here in Audio Frog. Because we talk about Audio Frog, too. I mean, I love Andy, and it's cool stuff. I even bought the shirt. I paid $50 for an Audio Frog shirt.
Remind me to tell you about my Audio Frog t-shirt stories.
Okay, that's a different one. Okay, that'll be...
I have 2 that printed wrong and 2 that printed right, and Andy was like, hey, those are wrong, and he sent me 2 new ones.
Really?
Andy's awesome.
Yeah, I love Andy. And we're going to see him next week.
Yep.
Yeah, be in his class. That's, they wanted I can't, who's the guy that's going to teach his class with him?
Bryn? No.
Yep. No.
Brandon Green?
No, not Green.
Freeman? No.
Yeah.
Eric Freeman?
I think Eric Freeman. And he was asking...
Eric's a great installer. He's a good shop up in Ohio.
So he was asking for, and I'll show it on here. He was asking for this.
All right, guys. The burned...
Yeah, look at that, guys. You guys have all seen this before. This is a burned high-level to low-level converter.
Oh, dude, I got to tell you... Well, after the show, I got to tell you about this. Me and Mike Lake, our engineer guy, we just went through and talked about some stuff about that.
Goody. All right, guys. Well, hey, you know what? That puts us at an hour. You guys know where you can find us. Teespring.com/stores/5-star car stereo can get you into shirts. We're going to have some new shirts when we get back from the show, which you guys will see on the show. We're kind of waiting for the big unveil there. We'll be back Monday. We'll tell you when we're going to do this. DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can find all the cool tools that we used. It's been updated. It's going to get updated again before we go to the show. It's something I'm going to work on this weekend. We're going to put all our camera gear and stuff on there because we're teaching a class on that stuff, so we want to make it easier for people to find the stuff we use. And just look forward to next week. Next week is going to be huge, people.
How many
huge.
shows are we doing next week?
We're doing 2. We're doing all right. So we're doing Friday. We start in your booth. We end in your booth. Saturday we're doing 1 at the MEA booth, and then Sunday we're starting in your booth again, and then we're going to be doing 5 minutes with 5-star on Instagram all day long, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we'll be doing product 5 minutes with 5-star. So we're going to go into the booths and we can. So it's going to be crazy. So lots of content next week, and it's all going to be live. It's all going to be on Instagram and YouTube. We're not doing anything on Facebook because we're not doing anything on Facebook. We might go on Facebook to say, go over to Instagram and YouTube because that's where we're hanging out. The show is going to be neat. We're going to try to cover it a little bit different than we've covered it before. We're excited. He's excited. He's the reason why we're going. Love you, bro. All right, guys. You have a wonderful night as always. Remember, Uber, Lyft, they're cheap. Don't do anything stupid so we can see you back here Monday.
See you guys.
Bye. Don't forget the playlist. I won't. I'll get him on that. That's easy. He doesn't have to actually bring me anything to do that.